Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yes, alhamdulillah.
So briefly tell us who is Tasneem? Amezaliwa wapi? Amekulia wapi?
My name is Tasneem Abdulrazak. I was born in Mombasa, Kenya. And I'm not sure. I went to school in Nairobi. I went to school in Njoro, Egerton. I went to school in different places. I did my university in the UK and my master's as well. So my bachelor's and my master's. And yeah, I think that's it. Education and where I grew up. So Nairobi, Njoro, UK, and Vienna.
Okay, so a bit of childhood experiences hapo unakulia wapi? Most of your part.
It's very interesting because I've been everywhere. When I was younger, I was in Japan and then I came back to Kenya. So, but mostly my childhood was in Njoro. So Njoro, it's like Nakuru, like, ndani. Njoro, in Egerton, to be specific. So that's where I basically went to school when I was younger. My primary school was there before moving to Nairobi. I also grew up in Mariakani, which is like home to me because that's where like my family's from. So home for me, it's like when I think of home, I think Mariakani is home, and basically just when I was younger, it was mostly in Njoro. Yeah.
This doesn't say.
Really?
Tell me a bit of your career and what's your aspirations.
So my career, professionally, I'm a lawyer. I do a lot of things. I am an advocate for human rights, mental health. I'm very passionate about that. I'm also an author. I just published my book about a month ago, if I'm not wrong. And I am, what else? A mentor. Forgot about that. So I go to schools, give talks to schools, to specific people who are part of my foundation, which is called We See You Foundation, which I love it so much. So We See You Foundation, just a brief, it's about, I feel like in school, everyone focuses on students who are always passing the exam, the top 3 students. But for my foundation, we focus on the bottom 3 students. So I go to the schools, I mentor them personally, and I have other people who help mentor them. And then we give them free books, which is the books that I published. So we give the bottom 3 free books. And if they increase their grades to become best improve, we continue helping them with their career. So, yeah.
So what drove you to that? Going to school, mentoring other people?
Funny thing is, since I was young, I thought I was going to be a teacher when I was like a child. So I used to be like I was the depressed 7-year-old who plays with dolls, thinking I was a teacher, trying to teach them. And at that time it didn't make sense, but I really enjoyed doing that. And I really, really enjoy helping people. I feel like my contentment in life is knowing that I've helped someone else. So for me, it was like I've been, I was never the top student in class. So I thought I wasn't a top student and I'm a qualified lawyer and I'm doing, alhamdulillah, good in life. And so I was like, this has to mean something. Like I have to share my story to people so that it can inspire other people. I was the student who had anxiety. I was the student who was always scared, who could not speak in crowds. And now, alhamdulillah, I can speak in over 1,000, more than 1,000 people. So I think it's the drive of helping people that I've always wanted to know that I can help someone else and not expect anything in return.
That's nice. For your new book, so the Erupting Voices.
Yes.
So tell us more about it.
Yeah, I always get excited when I talk about this book because it's very special, it's very broad, and it's very healing. So the point of the book is actually to create healing and to help other people heal. When someone reads it, they'll think it depends how you take it. So there are people who read it and tell me the book is about me, and there's others who read and say, oh, I could find myself in the book. So that's the point of it, is for them to find themselves in the book. The book is basically talks about the opening, which is like now childhood moments, and then it goes to pain, chaos, and then it goes to vision, reflection, and then healing. So it's a journey throughout life, but it just kind of showcases that there's failures on the way, there's gonna be downfalls, and there's sad days, happy days, but that's part of life. It's a very very intense book. Like, you definitely, when you read it, you cry, you laugh. It has all the emotions. And the reason I wrote this book, funny thing is, I didn't plan to write a book. I was writing my poetry just for fun, just normal daily life. When I want to write, I write. And then randomly, I was like, why not just write a book? A friend of mine told me you should write a book, and I kept laughing about it. I was like, there's no way I could write a book. Until 3 months, I think, of writing, I came up with a book. So it was not even planned, but alhamdulillah. Yeah.
So you're an author, you're a mentor, you're a lawyer,
Yeah.
you get to interact with so many people. How do you learn to say no without feeling?
I actually think, because I'm probably very honest, I am straight to the point. I can hurt your feelings, but it comes out of love. So I feel like a lot of people get to know me. Whenever I speak to someone, I make sure that they kind of understand the kind of person I am. I'm very open and honest about things. So if I don't like something, I'll tell you. If you do something, I'll tell you. If I don't want to go somewhere, I will say no. Also with students, when I speak to students and people maybe I don't know, I feel like they are overly respectful. Maybe the word is not respectful, but maybe overly, they tend to think that they have to, like, I don't know, respect me to a certain level, and I don't like that. So I just tell them, like, you should be free with me, you should do this and that. And I feel like when now they're free, if they tell me something, I can easily just say, no, unfortunately, I can't do this, maybe next time. Or if I'm not comfortable with something, I can easily say, unfortunately, this is not for me. So I've turned down a lot of things. I've turned down a lot of jobs. I've turned out a lot of opportunities because I'm not comfortable with them. So yeah, saying no, it's never something hard. I think it's a daily thing. I say no all the time, and I don't feel guilty at all, because I feel like I needed to work on myself to get to a point where I can say yes and no whenever I feel like, because at the end of the day, I need to be comfortable with the situation.
Okay, that's nice. How is it working for you as an independent Muslim lady living?
Oh, it's tough. It's very tough. I think the fact that I lived abroad as well, it was very challenging for me, just to wear the hijab, and I wasn't wearing a abaya or anything, but obviously wearing a modest outfit. It was very challenging. Even coming back to Kenya, it's tough, because I feel like, especially for a Muslim lady in specific, whenever they see you, they feel like intimidated, or maybe it becomes like an issue of, oh, okay, but you're, as a woman, you should be staying at home, you should probably get married early, you should do this and this, which is sad, I'd say, especially coming from my community. And so that's why I stand up for people's voices, and I help people find their voice through my book, is because for me, I know it's already challenging, but I know how to say no. I know how to say yes. I know how to kind of stand up and put my head up high. And I know there's so many other people who can't do that. So yeah, I think it's very challenging in this day and age. But I think as a community, I think we definitely have improved, especially the younger generation, the youth. I've seen a lot of ladies who get into causes that were men causes, who continue doing education, university, they do their masters, they do their PhD. So I think we're getting there, but it's tough, definitely tough.
Thank you so much. So what is the one quote that keeps you motivated, and every time that you think of it, that drives you?
I don't even know I think this is for life in general. I live by, you plan, Allah plans, and He's the best of planners. I think because I have anxiety, and because I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, I need to remind myself that every single time. If something doesn't work out, I don't cry about it. I'm not that kind of a person. I just say Alhamdulillah, whether it's a big job, small job, I've lost money, not lost money. I just look at it as this is Allah's plan. So I just live by you plan, Allah plans, and He's the best of planners. Yeah.
What is the one moment that you can recall that's like put you down and you stand up?
Oh, I was bullied. It's so funny because when I say this, people don't believe it. I am probably the most talkative person ever in my whole friend group, etc. But I was bullied in high school, and I feel like I couldn't stand up for myself back then. I was body shamed. Like if you read my book, it talks about body shaming, bullying, and everything. But I think it reached a point that the body shaming became a joke. So someone would try hurt my feelings and I would just laugh about it. So someone would call me a name and I'll just be like, ha ha ha, yeah. Like I know I'm not a rhino. If you call me a rhino, it's not really hurting me anymore. So I got used to it. It was like you keep doing things. I also believe in you don't go through life, you grow through life. And so for me, I was growing and all the comments were making me stronger. Because people thought like, okay, I can call her this and it will break her. But to me, it wasn't really breaking me. It was just making me stronger. So it reached a point like, whatever you say to me, I just laugh about it. And yeah, everything just became a joke. Yeah.
Throughout the conversation, I've not heard about friends, family. So which is the one person that gave you support as your support system?
That's a very hard question. It's a very, very hard question because I'd say, Alhamdulillah, I am very lucky to have my family and friends. I feel like I have very loyal friends throughout my life. Like my friendships are 10 years and above and we don't fight. We just support each other. So in terms of family, I'm very protective of my family. I don't like to speak about my family much because I love them so much. But I think I can't point on one person. I'd say my parents, my siblings, my friends, all of them. I don't think there's one person that I'd say, okay, this one has helped me through this, because it's like all journeys throughout my life, there was that one person who changed my life. And whether it was a friend, because even my friends, I don't call them friends, I call them my sisters. So it's like, yeah, I can't pick one person. But yeah, friends and family.
That one person in where would you all sports skier?
Yeah.
We think this a guy.
Probably my dad. Yeah. Oh, see, it's hard because then I'll be like, yeah, but my mom, but my sister. Yeah, I'd say my dad because I feel like I look up to him in a way that I everything that he says, like it's an echo in my life that I kind of like, I'm like, oh my God, that's a good point. Oh, he's saying this and that. He's always giving me the biggest advice. So yeah, my dad, he's definitely my best friend as well. Yeah.
Okay, what is your message to the young generation and to the women?
Yeah, I'd probably speak for an hour about this, but I'll try to summarize. I think people are very comfortable. I believe I always give my talk saying that if you're comfortable, you need to be uncomfortable for you to reach your goals. You need to make yourself feel uncomfortable at a certain way. So for me, the advice I'd give is just get out there. And if you feel like it's uncomfortable, that means you're doing something. If you feel like you're too comfortable, you're absolutely doing nothing. So get uncomfortable and feel uncomfortable. It's okay to feel fear. It's okay to feel anxiety. It's okay to feel pressure of like, you can't do it. You know, it's fine. It's part of life. You have your downfalls, upfalls, but it's like how you get back up and keep going. Because we all had to get back up and keep going. I always emphasize on this and say the first time I spoke in front of a crowd, I fainted and it was only 10 people. But alhamdulillah, like now I can speak in front of so many people because when I fainted, I didn't say I'm never going to do this again. I kept doing it. So I think consistency is the key to everything, whether in deen, whether in dunya, everything you want to do, just need to be consistent about it and have that self-trust and self-belief, because it starts from you. It doesn't start from someone else. Yeah.
So what is your dream? What's your dream house look like?
I don't think I have one. I don't know. I don't like a huge house. I like a very intimate house. I think my dream house just looks cozy, just very peaceful, just like a fireplace somewhere, very quiet, very white everywhere. I don't care. Even the sofas are white. I don't want any blackness. I don't want any colors. I just want it to be very white, very quiet, and very peaceful. Because I feel like when I go home, I just want to sleep, watch a movie, just rest. Just quietness. Yeah. So I definitely feel like I've retired already because I'm all about peace and just having a quiet place. Yeah.
So you said you're a poet?
Yes.
Right. Many poems. So what is the one piece that you feel that, or who inspired you towards poetry, and what is the one piece that you can say that this is the one piece that's like really motivated?
I'd say, I think who inspired even my dad. I think people don't know this, but he actually did poetry, but he did it in Swahili, so mashairi, back in when he was in primary and high school. So whenever he does it, I used to get excited. I'd read it with him. And funny thing, I also started with shairis. Like I used to do mashairi in school. I was always number one in that corner. So I just never thought about it. I never thought, oh, I could do poetry in my life or whatever. It was just like, I just write and I come out with a piece. My favorite one would be Mindset, the poem that I wrote about mindset. I also wrote it very quickly, but I think it's the story behind it. It talks about life is a movie, and it also talks about life is not a movie. And then I kind of like speak about both sides and then finish off by saying it's all about how you look at things. So everything, like someone being stubborn could be a good thing and it could also be a bad thing. It's just how you look at things. So it goes back to mindset. So yeah, I think that's my favorite.
Thank you so much, Tasneem Abdulrazak. It's such a pleasure to have.
Thank you.
So tell us more about your social media handles so we can just follow you.
So yeah, my Instagram is just_Tasneem. It's literally just _Tasneem. And I also have my skincare line. Again, not skincare line. I sell skincare products, Korean skincare products, which is Aya Skin. And my foundation is We See You Foundation. So those are the Instagram. I also have if you want to do more like a professional way, I have my LinkedIn, which is Tasneem Abdulrazak. Just that simple. I don't really use other platforms much. So I think those are the main ones that I do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How would you cope up with the challenges, especially in your career as a lawyer? When we need to field, what made you choose being a lawyer? What's the challenge? How do you face those challenges?
Yeah, I think that's the beauty about it. I'm always about being unique. I don't like to be similar to people. I don't want to be similar to people. And I think I love a challenge. I love when a guy comes up to me and says, oh, wow, like you're doing great. I'm looking up to you. Or maybe a guy who is a bit like, I don't like her because why is she doing low and I'm doing low? I like that. I feel like I live my life of challenges. When there's no challenges, I feel like there's something missing. So I always had my head up high in terms of the goals that I want to achieve. And I feel like with my book, The Eruptive Voice, it clearly says that I never had a voice. That's why my voice erupted. So it took so long for it to erupt. And now it's like I speak for all the women who are scared or shy to get into careers because they're like, okay, this is a men-dominated world it's not even a career, it's the world. But I think that's the beauty about life. It's knowing that, now there's so many women who share their voice and speak up for themselves. And we are more unique, I think, especially if I work in a field where I know that there's going to be more men. I think I think it's amazing. I love it so much because it's challenging for them and it keeps them thinking like, how is she doing it? Which actually showcases a lot. So it's not really, I'm not scared for a challenge. I'm not scared to work in a field where I know I can work with other men. I actually enjoy it a lot because it shows them that also women can do what they think we couldn't do. So yeah, I love it. Thank you.